What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. It's Thursday. That means it's time for my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10 and 20. This is what I call the my Getting Old video. Anyway, the film's turning 10 this week. It is Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Now, of course, there was a sequel, Alice Through the Looking Glass, which was, Alice Through the Looking Glass was just horrendous. But the 2010s version of Alice in Wonderland, based on the iconic L.S. Carroll novel, starring the likes of Johnny Depp as the role of the Mad Hatter, Mia Wasikowska as Alice. You also got the likes of Alan Rickman, Helena Bonham Carter as the Red Queen. Not to mention Matt Lucas did a great job at playing Tweedledee and Tweedledum. 2010's Alice in Wonderland obviously is not as good as the animated one from the 1950s, but man, the 2010 version is really good. Johnny Depp as of course he ended up portraying a wacky role once again, and we all know how good Johnny Depp does when it comes to playing wacky characters. But man, not to mention the film won the Oscar for Best Visual. I think it won Best Costume Design, not visual effects. But so if you guys haven't really seen 2010's Alice in Wonderland, go check it out. Check out 2010's Alice in Wonderland. Don't even bother with the sequel. The sequel's dreadful. Alright. Another film turning 10 this week. We got Brooklyn's Finest. Now, this movie was directed by Train Day director Antoine Fuqua, and it's another it's another film where another cop-based thriller with that Fuqua ended up directing, starring the likes of Richard Gere, Don Cheadle, Ethan Hawke, Wesley Snipes was in this, Alan Barkin, some really cool cast members. It's where this massive drug operation ends up changing the lives of these three conflicted New York cops. You got Richard Gere, who portrays the burnout vet Eddie Duggan, who is very close to retirement. You got Ethan Hawke as the narcotics cop Sal Prokina, who ends up facing the difficult task of caring for his large family. You've got Don Cheadle, who portrays the undercover cop Clarence Tango Butler. And not to mention, you also got Wesley Snipes. Some really great cast members that were in this. Really cool action. All of them were pretty great in this. If you guys haven't really seen Brooklyn's Finest, it's a really decent one. Alright, now the film's turning 20 this week. We got, the not-so-good Bette Midler and Danny DeVito film, Drowning Mona. This film also featured the likes of Casey Affleck, William Fichtner, Melissa McCartney, Will Ferrell, Nate Campbell. You also had Jamie Lee Curtis in this. God, this movie was not that funny at all. It's and a shame too, because I like Miller, I like both DeVito, but man, this movie just was all that great. It stars Bette Midler as the recently deceased Mona Daly, who was many things. She was a abusive wife, a mother, a loud mouth neighbor, and a violent Melanesian. But when her car and corpses ends up being discovered in the Hudson River, you got Danny DeVito, who portrays the police chief Rash, who suspects murder rather than an accident, and so he has to find out, what really happened and all. And man, this movie got released in 2000s, and it's not really that funny. It's not all that great. The acting wasn't all that decent. It's a shame too, because you got a great cast like this, but yeah. All right. Now, another film turning 20. We got the Madonna classic, The Next Best Thing. God, this movie. Oh boy, Madonna's film career was very questionable. She was of course in League of Their Own, but holy cow, she's been in some. But man, Madonna has been in some really dreadful films, and this is definitely one of them. It's just god awful. In this film, you got Madonna and Ripper Ever, who play these best friends who with so much in common, and they are also miserable, in love. But one thing ends up preventing them from looking to each other for romance. Robert is played by Ever is gay, and a day comes, however, when too many cocktails and twists of fate takes them to level of intimacy. It turns them into parents, and that's pretty much the next best thing of their career. And yeah, this is one of Madonna's worst films in her career. I mean, yeah, like I said, she had a great music career, but man, her film career has always been questionable. And yeah, I mean, remember that one film she did with a guy Ritchie? There was that. She also did that film with William Dafoe. Yeah, she's sad to say she's not that great of an actress. She's a decent singer, but yeah. Anyway, another film turning 20 that turns 20 this week. We got a film called What Planet Are You From? Directed by the late great Mike Nichols, starring the likes of Gary Shandling, Annette Bening, John Goodman, Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Ben Kingsley, I might say, Greg Kinnear, Judy Greer, Richard Jenkins. This is actually a pretty decent film. That's where Herod ends up being sent to Earth on a mission to literally impregnate a woman and also have a child in her. And so, like, Herod ends up befriending with Perry Gordon, who's this, I'm not like, Perry Gordon is this horny, morally challenged spaceman who of the human male, and together they scope, Phoenix for a woman and on. And this is actually a weird film, but it works out well. I mean, Mike Nichols, you could never go wrong with, directed The Graduate and all. But man, this is actually a very dark sci-fi comedy. A really cool cast. If you guys haven't really seen it, go check it out. And R.I.P. Gary Shandling. Man, gone way too soon. Alright. Now, my favorite film that turns 20 this week is literally Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, directed by Jim Jarmusch. Probably my favorite movie ever. This show. It is a action film with Forrest Whitaker, who portrays a Tyro, who's this contract killer and a master of his trade who can really whirl a gun at warp speed and moves through this world like he's a phantom or. And you got John Torme as the small time mobster Louis, who's it's a really decent flick. Of course, Whitaker, probably one of his coolest roles. I mean, Forrest Whitaker had some pretty cool hair on this.
So you go in, you get the card, and then you go
probably
to
definitely my favorite Jim Jarmusch film, because Jim Jarmusch has done some really good stuff. And
is this the one on 39th and 5th?
Yeah, and if you guys haven't really seen Ghost Dog, check it out. And too bad we never got to see a sequel. I'll love to see another Ghost Dog. See Forrest Whitaker back in action. It'll be cool seeing another Ghost Dog, but I don't think that will ever happen. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me leave to you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? Like for the 10-year one, I'll probably go with Alice in Wonderland, because I really got a kick out of the 2010 Alice in Wonderland incarnation. But my favorite film out of the 20-year one has got to be Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai. But anyway, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This here, Simu signing off.